He wasn't an imposing individual in early training, but by the end of a 9-year career on the track, Military Hawk's quality, consistency, and courage lands him in the Washington Thoroughbred Hall of Fame. A homebred George and Norma Sedlock by the Sedlocks Colonel Stevens and out of their mare SS Hawk, Military Hawk had a few issues as a youngster in the Larry and Sharon Ross barn. He was narrow physically and inquisitive mentally. Jockey Frank Best said he was like riding a bicycle, tall, long, and thin. Trainer Sharon Ross said he was in his own world. It wasn't long, however, before he began to amass accomplishments that would take him to heights few Washington breds ever achieved. At age 2, he won twice at Long Acres and took stakes at Playfair and Yakima Meadows. He's one of just 3 horses all time who won at all 4 Washington tracks. At Exhibition Park to that list too. The 3 highly accomplished Garys, Boulanger, Stevens, and Bays, all won aboard Hawk. Gary Bays had the mount for Military Hawk's first Long Acres Stakes win, the 1991 Renton Handicap. 91 was a good season for Military Hawk, as was 1992, the final Long Acres campaign. Bays broke his leg in May and watched from the sidelines as the 5-year-old took the Gary Bays Tribute Stakes.
When I was first contacted and informed that Military Hawk was going to be in Washington Hall of Fame, the very first thought that came to my mind was the very first time that it gone, and I thought how he was very athletic. He was an agile colt. He just kind of had a floating way of going. He just was you could tell that he was going to be something special. He was versatile. He won on several different racetracks. I think he won on every racetrack in the Northwest. One race that stands out in my mind that I rode him in Spokane. We had won the his stakes over there, which was a prep for the futurity over there, and the very next race was the futurity. And it came up a very, very sloppy track that day, and it was so bad that I ran out of goggles the second time around. But he got me around there safely. We didn't win that race, but that for some reason that race sticks out in my mind. He was very consistent. He gave his best effort. He was very durable. He lasted 1 race as a 10-year-old. And that was in large part due to the fantastic training and management by Larry and Sharon Ross. They did a great job with this horse, and also the patience of George and Norma Sedlock, the owners and breeders of this horse. I think that Military Hawk exemplifies the best qualities of Washington breeding, training, and racing.
The final closing day at Long Acres, September 1992. Gary Stevens came up to ride the entire card and got Hawk in the last stakes race in track history, the Washington Championship.
Military Hawk takes the lead. Gary Stevens brings him out. Here comes Magic Class in a game effort. Military Hawk out there. Magic Class is closing with every stride. But to take the championship, it's Military Hawk.
He came through on the big stage. The Sedlocks, Rosses, and Stevens were a huge part of Long Acres' final 10 seasons and celebrated Military Hawk's victory. Until Emerald Downs opened in 1996, the Sedlocks raced Hawk strictly in California, and the tough competitor represented Washington in tremendous fashion. In 28 races, 1993 through 95, he won 5 stakes and $230,000. Russell Bays was happy to jump aboard for 2 straight stakes wins in 1994.
And Russell Bays is dominating the track today. He's got Military Hawk moving out there. They come to the wire, and we have Military Hawk in front.
He was here at Emerald Downs on opening day, part of a great field for the Auburn Handicap. He nearly won the track's first 100-grander in July, trying to catch final act in the Budweiser Handicap and ran a strong closing 4th in the return of the Long Acres Mile. As a 10-year-old in 1997, Military Hawk continued to run competitive races at the 40,000 claiming level. His desire to race and win never waned. Mile Day 97, the Sedlocks and Rosses decided this would be Military Hawk's last race. Gary Stevens was in town to ride He's a Bull in the big race and easily accepted the mount aboard his old friend.
Gary Stevens in front of Military Hawk. He has a look around. Military Hawk way the best. Tardis Finale right up Graham Sally and Cromartie Bay. Military Hawk a half right up Graham Sally comes alongside. Military Hawk for Gary Stevens right up Graham Sally can't get there, and the Hawk has won it. Military Hawk for Gary Stevens.
A few weeks later, another emotional day. The official retirement ceremony for Washington's number 2 all-time earner. George Sedlock was eloquent as usual.
I'd like to thank all the jockeys, 21 of them that have been on them, I'd like to thank the press who have said some nice words about him. And finally, I'd like to thank all the fans that have supported Hawk over the years. We're retiring a racehorse. Thank you.
Racing was incredible and retirement enjoyable for Military Hawk. He joined Chum Salmon, Marketol, Aaron's Lord at the Ross Farm in Auburn. He was the youngster of the group and quickly fit in. 18 victories, 37 stakes wins or placings, $686,000 earned. Military Hawk passed in December of 2011, living a great life of 24 years, a life worthy of the Washington Thoroughbred Hall of Fame.